Mayor Nelson, Councilwomen, Councilmen. My name is Robert Shubert. I am the president of the Villages of Bonita Master Association, and I am speaking for agenda item 11C. We are encouraged that cost overruns have allowed staff to recommend approval of our request for a fence and buffer along Old 41. Along with the residents of Terry Street, we felt that the initial plans for road improvements did not adequately address the effects of these projects on the resident neighbors. We believe, however, that our proposal will correct those inadequacies, restore the security and quality of life for the residents of the Villages of Bonita, and enhance the beauty of the Old 41 corridor. We have always been committed to maintaining the city right-of-way in front of our community. Our plans include moving irrigation lines to cover the right-of-way, and as we have in the past, to continue mowing and trimming that area. Attention is being paid in the design of the landscaping to provide a pleasing visual appearance to the city side of the buffer. The landscaping plan that was included in Green Sheet 08070333 was the first that we received in our bid process. The other plans were just received. Because of the uncertainty of the available funding and our requirements for 3 bids, our board will be making a final decision at our next meeting. Under no circumstances, however, would we request more than is indicated in the staff recommendations, and it is possible our needs could be less. I would like to thank the council members and the city staff that have worked with the Villages of Bonita. Together, I believe we can move forward to improve both the Villages of Bonita and the city of Bonita Springs. This has been a long process, but we are hopeful that the end is in sight. We think approval of the staff recommendation is a win-win solution for everyone, and I hope we can get that approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item C is a discussion and direction to staff for the construction of a chain link fence and buffer along the east side of Old 41 in front of the Villages of Bonita. We've had this issue before the city council for a number of times. I think the green sheet really points out what they've requested and we've agreed to, and it is more than the council had originally earmarked for the whole roadway, but we think funds will be available. KCCS has done an excellent job, and we think funds will be available, so we would recommend that the council authorize us to have an agreement with the Villages of Bonita for both their fence and some landscaping, an amount of $90-some thousand.
I would move
98.1.
to accept that recommendation.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
it.
And we have a second. Any other discussion? All's in favor? I'm sorry.
Nope. It was just a
Yes.
positive comment that I wanted to make on this, is that, I think that the buffering, our number one priority has to be safety. And this does address that. And then I think that when I saw the amount, because of finding the funds for this when there are other projects still in the pipeline and other homes that have to be addressed, I certainly was taken a bit back. But I have to say that in this and in the arrangement, the key word for me was maintenance. And being that they have agreed to basically maintain that area, that does take a large financial load off burden, a continual burden off of the city. So I will vote yes for this.
Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to ask that, I know Arlington Park is asked to have something down in front of their place for the kids, to keep them off the road. So you're saying here that we've found money beyond the $100,000 to be able to accommodate that. Is that correct?
What I would like to do is hold this discussion, if we could, until we get down to item E.
Oh, right.
If we could, so I think that sort of involves the whole project.
Mr.
Oh,
Mayor,
that didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay, that answered my question. Thanks.
John?
I understand both what Janet and Martha are asking, and I'm supportive of this. Obviously, it's in my district, but I'm also supportive of finding other money, and Daryl assures us that there's some funds available, right? Okay.
You don't go crazy.
If we don't go crazy from the contingency in the project, and the thing I've been concerned about as I've been pushing this is I don't want this to end up, I don't want to be stealing this money from other parts of Old 41 or Terry Street, and I'm glad that the other items are on the agenda, because I think we need, I'm supportive of those as well as these, so I don't want to, I didn't want to have this turn into a bunch of 3-4 votes and end up with no buffering for anybody, so. And unfortunately, the only way we could talk about it is like I just talked about it. We can't talk
Mhm.
about it ahead of time, but you know,
Yep.
More fortunately.
Mayor?
So go ahead with your
Yes.
motion.
Yeah, I met with the folks from the Villages and of Bonita, and, you know, they had mentioned some lower numbers, so I was a little surprised by the 98,000 number, because it looked like they could have come in with something. I was 78 or something, John? What's all that about?
Mr. Mayor, I had, at some point when I'd met with the city staff and it appeared there was going to be only $100,000 to go around, I was looking for some midpoint between 57,000 and 98,000, which was 78,000. That was before we started talking about the fact that there'd be some contingency money left over. So that was not a number they came up with. That was a number I came up with, and with some dissatisfaction from my friends in the Villages when I sort of threw that out. But that was a discussion point I raised, not that they raised.
Okay, thank you.
And it was a compromise trying to figure out a way to
Gotcha.
keep us all happy here.
And,
All right, like to be happy.
Councilwoman Martin is right that the maintenance is no small thing. So I
Correct.
think that does some separation there. Okay, no further discussion. We'll vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good.